LAX and Konnan versus the OGs and King. Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff. I am your host, Alexis Carrillo, and this Sunday night from New York City, we've got the biggest pay-per-view event of the year for Impact Wrestling. It's gonna be Bound for Glory in the NYC. And one thing that I have to point out, because this is my honest opinion, and one thing I will point out is that the build to Bound for Glory has been kind of weak. It has been somewhat of a weak build, specifically if you consider this the build to the biggest event of the year. I kind of attest this to the fact that you have the Mexican crowd, the Spanish-speaking crowd that aren't as hot for a lot of the segments and builds that might be going down. And I think that's something that Impact hasn't learned from the past, because they did the exact same thing about a year and a half ago on the Build to Slammiversary, when the entire final 4 weeks or 5 weeks were in India, and that also didn't work. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. But back to this match, LAX and Konnan versus the OGs and King. Gotta say that, well, first thing I have to point out, it is a jungle concrete death match. Apparently, what it is, how exactly it will play out, we don't know yet. That's just a stipulation, and it's gonna be in front of a New York City crowd, so you damn well better be sure it's gonna get rowdy inside the Melrose Ballroom. But this rivalry between the LAX and the OGs has been the best built into Bound for Glory, mostly because, you know, it's been carried since before Slammiversary, so there's a lot of history, there's a lot of strings to pull from this story. And I do kind of like the fact that they've been introducing this whole mafia story beats into it, this whole mobster Godfather kind of beats into this story with those backstage segments. I've enjoyed those. I've enjoyed the fact that they have this entire ceasefire, that, you know, you have to respect the men at the very top, because otherwise you might not make it to the other side. You might not make it out of this alive. I really enjoy that aspect of this story, as well as the fact that LAX, being the baby faces, they are honoring the ceasefire, with Santana and Ortiz obviously being the young guys who want to not only earn the respect, but they want to beat the respect out of other guys that, you know, aren't giving it to them. And Konnan being the seasoned veteran, telling them, hey, you know, you don't know what might happen if you break the ceasefire, so why don't you calm down? We'll take care of business at Bound for Glory. And then you have the entire opposite side of the OGs and King, specifically King, who knows just as well as Konnan that if they break the ceasefire, consequences will take place. Consequences will arise for them, so he understands that he can't be stupid enough to break the ceasefire himself, so he is baiting the young guys, the young guns, Santana and Ortiz, to break the ceasefire on their side, and thus you can have Hernandez and Homicide, you know, create mayhem without that much guilt, without them being the one that initiated and broke the ceasefire. So I'm liking that entire aspect of that story. One of the misfires, one of the low points of this entire rivalry, of this entire feud, is the fact that just like on the road to Slammiversary, in this case, we do not know, and we are just 3-4 days away from Bound for Glory, we do not know if the tag titles are on the line. May I remind you, on the road to Slammiversary, we did not know. And a lot of people assumed that it wasn't for the tag team titles. And it was until, the actual match that a lot of people realized, oh, this is for the tag team titles. And we are in the exact same case right here. So, and given the fact that the tag titles played a big factor in the decision making as in terms of a prediction for Slammiversary, it once again comes into play for this match right here. Who walks out the winner? Number one, if it's for the tag team titles, I have no doubt LAX walks out still champions. And I'm guessing that's Impact trying to be smart about it. You put the tag titles on the line, the decision, the outcome becomes a little bit more logical. If it's not for the tag team titles, I still see LAX coming out winning this feud. Because at one point you have to put this to an end. And what better way to put this to an end than at Bound for Glory. So I'm going with LAX either way. And it will be interesting to see what Konnan can do in this match. Because he is supposed to be wrestling. He is supposed to be performing in this match. And as far as I know, he can't do much. King on the other side, we all know he's a professional wrestler. So he's obviously going to be in there getting his hands dirty against Santana and Ortiz. So anyway, LAX walks out the winners of this match. Tag titles are not on the line. Doesn't matter. LAX comes out the victor. That's my prediction. What are your thoughts on this match? Do you like the whole build-up to Bound for Glory? Do you like the whole build-up to this rivalry right here? Who do you think walks out the winner of this Jungle Death Concrete match? I think that's what it's called. Honestly, it's hard to remember. But anyway, leave your thoughts, predictions, and comments on the comment section below. If you follow wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff, consider subscribing and check out the rest of the Bound for Glory previews on this channel. That's it for me. Till next time.